before we do that, we got the NBA Finals tonight. As you're listening to this, it's Nuggets Heat in a very anticlimactic Game 7 between the Heat and Celtics. Almost coming back from a 3-0 deficit. Ethan, you were this close, and a lot of people, it was very confident. I wasn't going to be shocked, but I was on Saturday. I watched Game 6 where I had a buddy back in town for his brother's high school graduation and went to his open house. And after everything kind of in the game started, we watched. And him and his stepdad, huge Celtics fans. So we're watching this game. We're listening to it like things are going well. It's like we're coming back. We're coming back. Then Jimmy Butler happens, gets fouled, makes all 3 free throws. And I've described this to a few people that it was very similar to like the Minneapolis Miracle, where it was just it went from like drunken disappointed. My buddy just chucks his hat at the door, got his hands in his face like, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to lose this way. And then Smart's shot goes out, and then Derek White with the tip in. It went from drunken disappointed to drunken disorderly. My buddy and his stepdad, they were jumping up and down, hugging each other in excitement that there was a Game 7. And then after that, a second is like, we're totally going to lay an egg on Monday night. And that's exactly what happened. Is I think they got up like 7-2, and then after that, it was all Heat.
What you said there, Dylan, drunken disorderly to what? Drunken
disappointed to drunken disorderly.
Yeah, that should be just a motto for the city of Boston, because they just go from 0 to 100, and that was fantastic. So they who knows? You might need to talk to the great people of that city and try to get that trademarked or get that on a shirt or something. I think that'd be a good shirt that'll sell.
I think that there's a lot of moments, and maybe once the NBA Finals is over and we finish book club, that could be a topic of discussion. Is drunken disappointed to drunken disorderly in a matter of seconds, or the flip? Because I have one that comes to mind right away is the 2015 Michigan State game, the trouble with the snap game.
Oh yes.
And I'm sure there's a few more. Grant, I can think of a couple of years would be the Chiefs in the 2018 AFC Championship game.
D Ford, man.
I'm really bringing up and really reopening up some wounds.
Don't go there. Don't go
the
there.
2015 Big Ten Championship games. Hey, if I had to open up the rip the Band-Aid off of a game from 2015, I got to rip it off you. It's only fair how this works.
Well, then also Thursday night, Chiefs Broncos, the Jamal Charles fumble. That was just an awful year. The Broncos defense and LJ Scott, 2 people to this day I am not a fan of.
No, can't say I blame you.
Freaking LJ Scott, man. Well, and then the interception off of, it wasn't Kittle, it was the other tight end's Vandenberg's shoulder pads in the end zone.
Oh yeah.
I was like, because I think that would have put us.
It just sat on his shoulder.
Sat his shoulder I think would have put us up 13-3.
Yeah.
Just sums up that game. But
Ethan, do you can you think of any drunken disorderly to drunken disappointed games?
Well, I'd say the last 2 Iowa-Minnesota games, last 2 years.
Oh yeah.
It didn't end at the last second, but just the game in Kinnick kind of did. That's got to be one.
I'm trying to think what else. The Purdue one last year, you win that, you win the West.
Oh yeah, the lay an egg on homecoming.
Yeah.
2 drop touchdowns. Yeah, no, the 2 Iowa ones probably are big just because they outplayed them 100% in both games, and you run for 300 yards, one player, and you can't win. Solid.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Well, and we've got some more Minnesota heartbreak we're going to get on to touch on here late in a little bit here, but let's discuss back to the NBA Finals here. Nuggets have had about 10 days off now, and they're going to be well rested. Heat coming off an emotional game. This game tips off at 6:30 Mountain on ABC. Nuggets right now are 9-point favorites. The big matchup that everyone's kind of circling as soon as the finals were set is the Bam Jokic. We're going to see if Bam is going to be able to. I don't think you're going to completely shut Jokic down, but if you're able to make things tough, get physical with him, find a way to wear him down, I think that gives Miami a shot. Can Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin, the undrafted guys for Miami, can they continue their hot shooting, which propelled them into the NBA Finals? And then another matchup is I think how Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. are going to be able to handle Jimmy Butler. I think if they're able to make things tough, and I think one thing that Jimmy really needs to do is not go and hunt for fouls, which he did a lot of in the Boston series, where it almost seemed like he was looking more for a foul than just going up strong to the basket, which cost him a lot of layups. And what was it in Game 6 where they shot like it was like 9 of 37 or something from the paint? And part of it too was it seemed like he was scared and just go up strong. Jimmy, you're 6'7", you built like a brick. Just go up strong. Whatever happens. You're either going to get fouled or you're going to make it. I think the one weakness for Denver is I think they lack their bench is lacking. I think if this series goes longer, I think it's going to favor Miami because Denver's just not very deep. And Miami, they're believing right now. They're playing high. The baskets, the sizes of, as we would say on the league, the size of Andre's sister. And or as wide open as Florida was during COVID. I think that's better since Miami is in Florida. But I'll let you guys go give your rundowns, then we'll go swap over to predictions.
I just think Denver is honestly just too good. The West is way harder than the East. I mean, Miami did great. They beat probably the two best teams in the East to get to the finals, but Boston and Milwaukee, neither one are Denver. Denver's been the best team all year. I don't see that changing any time in this series. They might get a game or two, but I just think Denver's too good. I know the depth is a little scary thing for Denver, but if they shoot like they're doing and just Jokic is as good as he's been, I don't think Miami's going to have an answer for him.
Well, and Ethan, your point, you beat a Milwaukee team without Giannis.
Yeah, twice.
Twice. That kind of puts a little something else on that series there. But, Dylan, a player you didn't mention was Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Vincent, to your point, Vincent Strauss, all these other cats, they're going to be able to slow him down because no one's been able to stop Jamal Murray. They're playing right now, guys, kind of like how UConn was in the NCAA tournament right now, where it almost doesn't feel like anybody can play with them. Nobody can stop them. Only they can stop them. Again, it kind of takes you back to the 2018, 2015, 2016, Villanova teams where they were just hot.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like their year. And, Bam, he can be a good offensive player, but on the defensive end, I think he's kind of soft. And what Jokic, I think, is about to do to him right now is going to be just absolutely disrespectful and disgusting. I think Jamal Murray's been the best player for the Nuggets this postseason, but I think Jokic is going to be the MVP, and he's going to absolutely just make Bam look like a fool. And, I understand you want to get physical with Jokic, but listen to some of these guys on TV talk, and you hear other players talking on the internet. Jokic, he'll give it to you too. So he's going to give it to Bam, and Mike Malone. Everyone's going to talk about Spoelstra. Mike Malone's done a great job as coach for Denver. It just like Ethan said, it kind of feels like their year. And I think the only person that can stop them is going to be them. And then for Miami, who's going to stop Aaron Gordon? Jimmy can't guard him. He's got to be on Michael Porter Jr. It seems like it's going to be almost too much. I could be wrong. Like I said, I was all on the Heat bandwagon last year, and they proved us wrong through this whole series. But the Celtics are kind of a soft ass basketball team compared to Denver, and I just don't think Denver is gonna let up anytime soon. The whole rest versus rust thing. That's not a debate we should have before the series because guess what? If they play good, oh, it was good rest. If they play bad, it was rust. I think the only team that's going to stop Denver is Denver, and they're just not going to do it 4 times. Even though the season series, I believe Denver won both games, but it was by like 6 points or less.
You could argue T-Wolves probably played the best defense on Murray, and he still hit shots that like
He just-
Kobe could barely hit.
Yeah, he just went nuclear,
Yeah, just stupid.
in that series. And, also, Ethan, you could have, with how well you could say, minus game one, the Timberwolves, and how well the Lakers played against the Nuggets this postseason, between those 7 games, or 4 games, 8 games, games 2 through 5 for the Wolves, and then 1 through 4, the Nuggets lost 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just incredibly hot right now, and they feel hungry, and they want to prove like, hey, this 2020 bubble championship run in the Western Conference Final wasn't a fluke. Jamal's healthy. Don't forget about me. I'm a superstar. We got the 2-time MVP. Look at the team we've built. Hey, our executive vice president of basketball operations leaves to go to Minnesota, and we don't miss a beat. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Miami, and if they want to compete anywhere in this series, they have to get one of those first 2 games in Denver. If they don't, it's over. It's just more or less.
I could see Butler going on Murray though to start.
I think you almost have to,
You got to get him, at least try to get him out of his zone.
and then someone with a little bit more size on there too, where he can actually somewhat contest his shots.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
I
you're
think
not.
Murray's only 6'4". What's Jimmy, 6'7" or something?
Yeah.
Jimmy's like 6'7". But yeah, I think Jamal Murray, I think he's that good of a player. You don't really have to say much, and I think that's going to be the biggest problem for Miami is I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to guard him all the game because you're going to need him on the offensive end to score. And by the end of Game 7 against the Celtics, he looked exhausted. And he looked exhausted in Game 6 as well. And then you're going to Denver where the elevation is higher, and that's going to make a difference as well. Which just we'll just smooth into transition into predictions here. And I do think I think this series goes back to Miami. I think it goes back 1-1. And I think Denver in the end though, I think maybe it gets 2-2. It goes back to Denver 2-2. But I think after Game 4, I think the legs of Miami start to wear down. I think Miami is a little bit tired going into elevation. I think Denver wins Game 5, and I think they close it out in Miami in Game 6. So Nuggets in 6.
I'll say Nuggets in 5. Denver gets Game 3 at home, kind of build it back up.
You mean Game 3 in Miami?
Sorry, yeah, Game 3 in Miami.
Yep.
But then Denver closes it out and just says, screw you, we're taking it back with us.
Ethan, we must have the same notes, or we're thinking the same thing. Because I also like Nuggets in 5. I think they go up 2-0. I think Tyler Hero coming back in Game 3 possibly gives the Heat a little bit of a jump. There's 20 more points. You got.
I don't know. I think they're better without Tyler Hero.
But it's just.
I think he's too much of a ball stopper.
It's just.
When you watch him play, he stops the dribble where when he's off the floor, the ball moves and flows so much better without Tyler Hero. I think he could affect them more than he would help them.
And you could argue that makes sense.
We have some breaking news. I hate to interrupt you.
Uh-oh.
The Twins got a hit with the bases loaded.
Let's go.
Whoa!
Yes.
Hold the presses. We got a new headline. We got a new newspaper. Wow.
It was only a single. We don't do extra base hits with the bases loaded. But it scored 2.
Hey, what are we, 6 for 44 this year now with the bases loaded?
Something like that. It's just
Let's go, baby.
We did strike out with it, bases loaded, nobody out though, so we're still looking for that first hit with nobody out, but we got a hit.
So we're 6 for 45 now this year.
Something like
what's
that.
What's the score of that game right now?
2-0, top of the third.
Whoa.
2-0, good guys.
All right, well, the Twins have a chance to go.
Buxton in the lineup tonight.
Well, hey, they got a chance to go knock on wood. They have a chance to go into the defending champion's house and steal a series from them. So
if they win tonight, they win the season series version.
Hey, let's go.
That means
'Cause
they
it was
beat
what-
them and the Yankees in the same year.
2-1 to start the year, right? Or 3-1.
They won. It's 2-2 right now,
That's right.
or 3-2. Sorry, 3-2. Because
Yeah.
we won 2, won the first game. This one.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, we won 2 up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they got a big one coming up this weekend against Cleveland.
Yeah, get the bats hot now and roll Cleveland, open some space up. Hope Detroit.
Well,
kicks
especially
themselves.
a team like Cleveland who can't hit the baseball for anything.
Actually, my dad just said he got his tickets, so we will be there Saturday.
Skirt, baby.
Ben, can't wait to do my call.
Oh, good call. Good call. I
Yeah.
like that.
But
We are the Indians.
But-
We are not the Guardians.
You should do the tomahawk chop. I know
If we
it's
hit
an
a home run, I'm going to.
I know it's an Atlanta thing and it's a Kansas City thing, but do it.
No.
But Dylan, to your point,
Chief Wahoo.
back on Tyler Hero, Miami had one of the worst offenses in the regular season, and then all of a sudden, when he's hurt, come playoff time, they have the second best offense
It's a good
in
point.
the playoffs. So there's some substance there.
I think they'll miss Oladipo more than they're going to miss Tyler Hero.
That's fair.
Because that's somebody too. Oladipo was somebody too that could have guarded Jamal Murray, but
Well, then also-
they can't.
Just a couple guys who have played good minutes. You know, Denver's not the deepest team, but Davis, Caldwell Pope, and then Jeff Green. You know, just Denver. They just, like I said, they're Philadelphia. They just come at you in waves, man. But they're just like the Eagles
Yeah.
this year. They just attack.
Fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. But selfish, I don't really like the Nuggets. I always root against them. I think it's a Denver thing. I think the Broncos have ruined any sports organization for me. And I've always had a strong disdain for the Colorado Avalanche. So anything to do with Denver sports, I will be rooting against them.
Okay.
I think they win.
What about in 07 when the Rockies were made it to the World Series? Were you anti?
I was rooting for them just because
Okay.
they're not a big market, and it's the Rockies. I mean, come on, guys. That's the only time we've talked about them in 20 years. And you know, not the biggest Red Sox fan out there. I mean, of all the Boston teams out there, I kind of could care less about them. Actually, I guess I don't have any disdain for any Boston team anymore. It's not like I root for them. It's not like I root against them. They're just kind of meh. They're there, but yeah, I would have rooted for the Rockies for sure.
Okay. Gotcha. I think everybody was a Rockies fan outside of that little corner that is New England. Yeah.
The New England portion of this country, absolutely.
Yeah.